Okay, so yesterday we did the dividing of polynomials. Today is going to be dividing with long division. And guys, if there's any time that you need to really pay attention and take really good notes, today is the day. It's tedious work. It's tedious work. There's a lot involved and a lot going on, so your handwriting does matter. If you zone out in class and then all of a sudden you come back, you're going to be lost. You got to really 100% pay attention. So doodling and everything should probably cease. You should truly pay attention. Take good notes because you'll probably need them. If you just look in your book for help, that may not actually be helpful. Okay, so we're doing 9.6, dividing polynomials. And I'm going to say part 2, because this is going to be your long division. Okay, so step 1, and we have way more notes than we did yesterday. You're going to arrange the terms of both, and I'll explain, in descending order. First. Okay, so what I mean by both, bless you, when you are doing long division, we're talking about the whole, cowboys in the house, horses outside the house. You're doing that today. And when I say both, I'm referring to what's inside the house and outside. Make sure you put it in descending order. 2. You're going to complete, and I'll let y'all catch up. Complete the divide, multiply, and subtract procedure when it comes to long division. And what that means is, go through the methods. Like, I think it was Aiden that said, well, we know how to do long division. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, well, you're doing that. So if you're sitting there going, man, I hate long division, I'm not good at it, buckle your seatbelt. So apply your knowledge of long division to what we're doing today. A, when it comes to complete the divide, multiply, and subtract procedure, it's going to be a little different. You're going to divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor. And write the result. And if you're like, I don't remember divisor, okay, here it is. Here's my house. Divisor is out here, and here's dividend inside. So you're going to divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor and write the result. Please make sure your notes are nice and neat. Don't try to cram it all into one page. If you have to use 500 pages, it's okay. Nice and neat notes. And if you two in the back need to move up front, move up to a closer desk to take notes. B. You're going to multiply the answer by the entire divisor and place the product below. So it's your basic, long division. You multiply the answer by the entire divisor, but the reason I'm having to go through this is because up here you're dividing just the first term by the first term. There's going to be multiple terms, but you multiply the answer by the entire divisor and place the product below. C. Subtract this product from the dividend and bring down next term. Just like in long division, and again, once I start doing these examples, all this will make sense. But you're going to subtract like you do in long division, and then bring down the next term. All right, step 3. You're going to repeat step 2 just like you would in long division until you're done. Here's a star. In fact, I'm going to put 2 stars. Place any remainder over the divisor. And I'm going to explain how that works too. And the good thing about this long division of polynomials is you're not having to add a decimal and add zeros and all that stuff. There's not going to be decimals in the divisor that you have to move over and all that stuff. So that's the good thing about that. So you're going to place any remainder over the divisor. I would say, do y'all have any questions? But I know you're still I still have no idea what we're doing. All right. So let's go ahead and open up our books. Does everyone have this? All right, open up your book to the same page you were at yesterday. Examples. What page was that?
397.
What?
397.
397. Okay, y'all ready? All right, we're going to start with 17. Okay, it says divide, and it shows x squared plus x minus 6 divided by x plus 3. So this whole polynomial is being divided by this polynomial. Okay? All right, y'all ready? Here's where it gets fun. Aiden, you better wake up, buddy. You awake? Okay. Michaela, you awake? All right. Some of you I know because I saw what time y'all were up. That's right. I know these things. This is why y'all zone out in my class, because you're up all night long. I know who y'all are. See, y'all aren't even denying it. All right, so here we go. I'm going to write, this is being divided, so that goes into the house. X squared plus x minus 6. Nice and neat, children. This goes on the outside. And I'm going to keep it in parentheses just because. There's no real rule. I just feel comfortable doing it that way. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, y'all have it down? I'm waiting to see, make sure. You done? Okay, don't doodle. All right, arrange the terms in descending order. Are these in descending order? Yes, that's step 1. Step 2, go ahead and start long division. You're going to divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor and write the result. So guys, what we're looking at, first term of the dividend and the first term of the divisor. That is all we are looking at. So if I write it, you're writing it. The first term of the dividend and is being divided by the first term of the divisor. Okay? So, how many times? So, x squared divided by x is what? Taylor?
X.
Yes. X squared. You got to know your exponents and division and rules. That's why I said y'all had to have yesterday mastered before today. X squared divided by x is x. So you write that on top. Okay, so x squared, the first term of each, is all we're looking at. We're not even looking at that 3. We're looking at the first terms. X squared divided by x is x. So you place it on top. Now, just a second, now we do the multiply the answer by the entire divisor. You have a question? What?
So it would be like 2 minus 1. So x2 would be the one like on top.
That's right. That's right. So if we're dividing and the bases are the same, our exponents are subtracted, right? So it's 2 minus 1. Okay? All right. So now we multiply this answer by everything in the divisor. So we're going to multiply it by everything here. So what is x times x? Anyone? X squared. Write it underneath. What is x times 3? 3x. Put it in parentheses. And then let's pause. Any questions before I move on? Okay, so we start off with the first terms. X squared divided by x is x. Then we multiply it by everything in the divisor and we write it here. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. And we write it underneath. Put it in parentheses. Now, we subtract, just like we do in long division. Now, what happens when I put a minus sign in front of the parentheses, Emily? everything inside changes. So this x squared is now what? It was positive, it's negative. And then this positive 3x is now what? Negative. So see, I'm writing that right above. X squared minus x squared, they just cancel out, right? So I get 0. What is x minus 3x? With?
Negative 2x.
Negative 2x. All right, so I'm going to, do you see why I said notes are important?
I can bring my 6. Are we done?
I don't know. Are you serious? Are you crazy, girl? We are nowhere near done. Just like in long division, Michaela's right. I'm going to bring down my next term.
Now we're done.
No, we're not. All right. Before I move on, any questions? All right. We again are looking at our first term, the x and the negative 2x. So negative 2x divided by x is, someone raise their hand? Michael. What is, you need to wake up and pay attention. What is negative 2x divided by x? Negative 2. So I'm writing negative 2 up here. Now we go back, because we only are worried about the first terms. We go back and we're going to multiply our answer by everything in the divisor. So negative 2 times x is what, Cecilia? Negative 2x. And negative 2 times positive 3 is what, Michaela?
Negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6.
And I'm putting this in parentheses, and we are subtracting. So Emily, tell the class again what happens when I have a negative outside the parentheses. So all of these that are negative now become positive, right? So then negative 2 plus 2x, that's 0. And negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So we're done. No remainder. So my answer is x minus 2. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Let's see. When you multiply, like, to get the 2x plus the 6, like right above the zeros.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you put it under the 0, like the positive 2x?
Because we're done with that. We're using this. Negative 2x divided by x is negative 2. So then we multiply negative 2 times x. It goes right underneath, just like in regular long division. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, so we line up our stuff. Okay? Any other questions? Y'all ready to be set free?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's do another one.
I am ready to be set free though.
Well, too bad. Because then you'll start bugging me
Yeah.
with questions. All right, let's look at 19. I have 3x squared minus 26x minus 9 divided by x minus 9. Okay, so this whole polynomial is going into the house. Make sure you have plenty of space. And then that binomial is going out here, and I do keep it in parentheses. So, Cecilia, which two terms am I looking at?
X and 3x, 2.
Very good. We're looking at the first terms of each. Good job. Aiden, 3x squared divided by x is what? 3x. Emily, what's my next step? Okay, 3x times everything here, right? Good job. So 3x times x is what, Emily?
3x squared.
Very good. 3x squared. Good job. And what is 3x times negative 9, Emily? Very good. Negative 27x. You're correct. Put it in parentheses, and I'm subtracting. Michaela, what happens when I have a subtraction sign outside the parentheses?
Bring it down. Like,
No,
the negative 9?
no, we're not done yet. What do?
I thought you were saying outside the parentheses.
I do have a negative sign because we subtract next. So what do I do?
Make everything negative.
No.
You put it. You make the negative 3. You make the 3 negative.
Okay, and then what do you do with
Make
the?
that one positive.
You make this one positive. Very good. Okay, 3x squared minus 3x squared is what, Michaela? Nothing. And then negative 26x and positive 27x is what, Michaela? 1x. Now what do I do, Michaela?
Now you bring it down.
Now I bring down my negative 9.
I put plus 1x.
It doesn't matter. They're both positive. Okay, Cecilia, what do I do now?
1x divided by x.
Okay, so we're again looking at our first term. So 1x divided by x. What is that, Cecilia?
X. 1x.
When we're dividing and the bases are the same, what do we do to the exponents? What's x divided by x?
1.
Okay, so 1x divided by x is,
0.
you just said x divided by, what?
1.
Yes. X divided by x, you just told me was 1, right? So 1x divided by x, same thing, it's just 1. Do you get it?
Okay.
What's 9 divided by 9?
1.
What's a divided by a?
8.
No.
1.
1. How many times does a go into a? 1 time. Okay, so x divided by x or 1x divided by x is just 1 plus 1. Now, Michael, what do I do? By and negative 9. So 1 times x is what, Michael? Or just x. And 1 times negative 9 is? Put it in parentheses, and we subtract. But what does that do inside here, Whit?
The 1x will not be negative, and the negative 9 will not be positive.
Okay, so 1x minus 1x is?
0,
And negative 9 and positive 9?
0.
Okay, so we're done. So your answer is 3x plus 1.
It seems easy.
It is when the teacher's doing it with you. And then when you're set free, it's like, what?
Can you do it with us? All of them?
No.
I
Any
don't.
questions? Taylor, sweetheart, let me be the teacher. I've been your teacher for a couple years now. We should let me be the teacher. Love you, but let me be the teacher. All right, 21. we have a squared plus 4a plus 12 divided by a minus 6. Do y'all see that anytime you want to skip a step in this stuff, you probably shouldn't?
Yes.
Alright, so this goes into the house. And I forgot to check before to make sure it's in descending order. This is in descending order. Okay, here we go. Gabby, after you have it written down, tell me what's my first step. That's right. First terms. A squared divided by a is a. Taylor, what's my next step?
Apply a by a minus 6.
So everything in the divisor. So Taylor, what's a times a?
A squared.
And a times negative 6.
Negative 6a.
Very good. Put it in parentheses, and we're subtracting. Aiden, what do I do?
Oh, you put the subtraction. Distribute.
So that becomes negative, and the 6a becomes. So then, Aiden, a squared minus a squared is?
0.
And 4a plus 6a is?
10.
Very good. Emily, what do I do now? Do what? What for? Huh? So we just subtracted. Look at the previous problems. Right after we subtract, what do? Bingo! We bring down the 12. Good job. Bring down that 12. Now, Emily, what do? What for? Up here?
That's whenever you multiply it once there's like a thingy above.
Okay, well, look at your notes. What do we do once we bring this down?
Subtracted it.
Okay, we subtracted, brought down our 12. Now what's the next step?
You subtracted it too.
What am I subtracting? Look right here. We brought down the negative 9. Then what did we do? Why is this underlined? We're not multiplying. We're dividing. So the next step, that's why I'm asking questions. The next step is, now that we've subtracted and brought down our 12, now we divide the first term again. Okay? So 10a divided by a is what, Emily? Yes, ma'am. Good job. Plus 10. Very good. Do you understand? Okay. Make sure you have like this underlined so that it'll help remind you what to do. All right, Michaela, what do I do now?
You're going to multiply 10 by everything in the parentheses.
That's right. So 10 times a is?
10a.
And 10 times negative 6?
Negative 60.
Put it in parentheses, and we subtract. So, Cecilia, what happens to everything in here?
It's negative 10a plus 60.
Good. So, Cecilia, 10a minus 10a is 0. And 12 plus 60 is?
72.
Is what?
72. Positive 72.
Yep, 72. Now, you notice before it was 0 when we got to this part, right? So this right here is your remainder. So you write your remainder like this. Here's my equal sign. It's going to be a plus 10. That's a positive, so plus 72 over your divisor, a minus 6. That's how the remainders are written. You have to know that. Any question? Notice how the remainder is written. It's the remainder over the divisor, a minus 6. Do y'all understand where I got that? Any questions? Are we seeing a trend here? Seeing a trend? It's just plain old long division with the twist.
A big twist.
And I like that.
Okay, I got one more for you. So pay very close attention. 23. Here we go. This is going to be another one with the remainder. 24x squared plus 13x minus 9 divided by x plus 1. Okay. First, in slow and steady, guys, if you try to rush this stuff, you know you're going to mess up. Nice and neat. Okay, Michael, once you have this written down, tell me what's my first thing to do. Okay, so we're going to divide the first terms of each. That's why I have it underlined. All right, make sure everything I'm doing, you're doing so that you can go back over your notes for help. So, Michael, 24x squared divided by x is what? 24x. Very good. Whit, what do I do now?
You're going to multiply the 24x by the x plus 1.
Very good. Everything over there. So, Whit, 24x times x is what?
24x squared.
And 24x times 1 is?
1x.
What?
Oh, no.
24x times
Oh.
1.
24x.
Very good. Put it in parentheses. Draw your line, and we subtract. So, Gabby, everything inside the parentheses becomes, and that's negative. So, Gabby, 24x squared minus 24x squared is? And 13x minus 24x is? Negative what? Okay, I second guess myself. So negative 11x. Emily, what do I do now? Not yet. What do
That's what we did last time.
No, we didn't. We had to do something right before that.
What do you mean?
Look at the last problem. Okay, look at the last problem.
Looked at the 11x and on the last one looked at the 12 and the 6.
Okay.
So on this one we looked at the 11x and the 1.
We got to here. And then what do we do? Huh? Very good. We're going to bring down the -9. Now, what do? Yes. Very good. The -11x by this x. Always by this first term, okay? Y'all all understand that. It's always by this first term that you're dividing by. You're only multiplying with the 1. The x is what you're dividing. Okay, so Taylor, -11x divided by x is what?
-11.
-11. So then, Taylor, what do I do?
And you multiply -11 by x and 1.
So we're multiplying -11 by everything in the divisor. So -11 times x, Aiden, is? And then -11 times 1? We're going to subtract. Taylor, what happens to everything in the parentheses?
They become flips.
It becomes flipped. So, Michaela, -11x and +11x is?
Wait, what? Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to add them. Okay, so that'd be 0.
And then -9 and +11?
2.
Okay, this is our remainder.
-11 plus +1 is -11.
Right here, we're multiplying.
Times 1.
-11 times 1. Remember, we're multiplying all this right here, right? Okay, that's our remainder. So we write it, let me see. Gabby, how would I write the answer? Whoops. Any questions? All right, setting you free. Page 397, numbers 18 through 28 even. Now 28, you're going to have to rearrange those terms right there. See how they're not in order? This is going to be due Wednesday. And your test, because this is it, your test will be Monday on the entire chapter. All right, get to work.
I just remember happy 1st of March.
Happy 1st of March.
Already started.